Hello, this is the local Artistry Show. I'm Evan. I'm here with Travis Butler from Brahctopus.
How we doing?
It is a Pittsburgh jam band. It's been around since 2015, is that right?
Yeah.
So I really know nothing about the jam band in Pittsburgh. I was hoping you could tell me about that. I don't even know what a jam band is, I'm going to be honest.
Okay, so it's weird because it's kind of like a genre in and of itself, but I guess you could kind of bring it back to like the roots with like the Grateful Dead and bands like that really overextended solos and just kind of did a lot of improvisation. You know, they're not necessarily even knowing where they're going per se within a song or a solo section. So I guess it's more just the concept of like being very in the moment when you're playing, not necessarily being bound to rules. The musicians are all kind of making it up as they go. You kind of react off of each other. A lot of stuff like that. I mean, you still play songs and stuff that are choreographed and have a form and everything, but just a lot of improv in those. As far as Brahctopus, I wouldn't like totally classify us as a jam band. It's kind of a mix. Like on our records, we try to keep it a little shorter. Well, I shouldn't say that because on our first record it's really jammy, but this next record that's coming, it's a lot shorter. We're trying to make it more I want to say like digestible for people that aren't necessarily looking to listen to like a 10-minute song or anything like that. So the way we kind of do it is live we'll have a lot of jammy sections and kind of be more like a jam band live, but then on record we're kind of a little more normal, kind of more tame. As far as like the Pittsburgh jam band scene, it's actually a pretty cool little community. It's, you know, at least a good, 10, 20 bands that I can think of off the top of my head of just like a kind of tight-knit community. We play a lot of gigs together. We do a lot of like the local festivals together. We actually have our own festival, Gare Fest, which we do every August usually. We haven't the past 2 years because of the pandemic, but I guess that's kind of it in a nutshell. I myself am not like usually a huge jam band fan. Like I don't like listen to Fish or Grateful Dead or anything like that. But I enjoy playing in one. It's a ton of fun. I mean, you get to do a ton of, as a drummer, you get to basically like do whatever you want. There's little rules to hold you back. So yeah.
You joined in 2017,
Mm-hmm.
and there were two other members, Austin and John, who also joined. Did you three all come around at the same time?
Yeah, pretty much. So back in like 2015, 2016, when they were getting started, I was still in college. They were more like a East Coast reggae type band. Our lead singer plays a uke, and was like a really big like I don't know what you want to call it. I guess like beach rock type fan. But he kind of had that vibe going, and they were doing more like, summer tunes, short, sweet, kind of reggae rock. And then I joined, and right around that time, Ethan had started, that's the lead singer, had started writing a little longer songs, and he was always a big jam band fan, a huge Fish fan. So his songwriting kind of started to lean more that way. I was coming in as like a jazz drummer out of Duquesne. So, I mean, I was fully down with the whole improv idea. And so it kind of started evolving there. And then we needed a new guitar player, and I brought in John, who was a friend from Duquesne. And then Austin was also a really good friend from Duquesne. I went for him. We had him sub in on a gig once for keys, and we just kept him around because he's really talented. He ended up going and being our harmony guy. He arranges all of our harmonies and does all the theory stuff behind that. So yeah, it was around the same time. I kind of brought them both in from Duquesne.
I was curious, like what the new members brought to the table that kind of evolved the sound, because it started out as more like reggae rock, right?
Yeah, it was a lot of John, because he had like Well, first of all, he's really, really good. And he had like a total like classic rock, country, almost southern country vibe going. And I guess that kind of just brought us to eventually jamming more and doing more kind of just out of the reggae vibe and more of just towards the classic rock vibe, just because he fit in so well with it. But yeah, I would say just the new musicianship that they brought to the table, because they're both very, very good musicians.
I've talked to you about music before, and you said one of the hardest parts for you in the music making process is the decision making, the creative decision making. And I wanted to know like what your process is in that area and what makes it hard.
Yeah. So when you're producing something, you're going to be faced with a lot of decisions. You know, musically, if you're producing something, you know, even right when it starts, if you're recording drums, what mics am I using? You know, and those decisions can't be undone as you work forward. I mean, you can redo the drums, but you know, if you were to use those tracks, it's not like you can change the mic with an effect in the computer. You know, it's not going to happen. So it's all decisions all the time. And they compound on each other, right? So, you know, now you get into, okay, you chose your mic. Now, where are we going to place the drums? How are they going to be tuned and everything? You know, more stuff that cannot be undone after you record. And then even as you get into the production process, you know, and things that you can tweak back and forth, you still have to come to a point and say, okay, what am I doing? Like, where am I going to leave it? You know, there might be 4 different levels of reverb you might like, or like there might be 2 different delays you might like. It's constantly about making decisions. And what I've found is that you can't be too hard on yourself. You can't expect it to turn out exactly like you wanted it, because most of the time it doesn't, but that doesn't mean it doesn't turn out well. So I guess the process for me is I try to exhaust as many options as I can. I choose one that I think I like, and then I stand behind it. You know, and if it's something that really screws up down the line, then I have no problem with wiping out 10 hours of work and starting over. That's just the nature of our job. But it is a lot of decisions, and I usually just try to make the best one, stay faithful to it. If it ends up, you know, really coming back to bite me, then I'll do the work it takes to go back. Most of the time, I get it right the first time just by really exhausting each option. When it comes to like effects or something, if I'm choosing between, you know, here's a lot of compression, here's a little bit of compression, I just try it out as much as I can, come down to it, and just pick one and stick with it. Yeah.
I was watching this recording of Brahctopus playing. I came across it on their Facebook page. It was like 3 people, like you included. It was from last July. It was like a virtual event during the pandemic.
Oh, yeah. We have this concert, Feliz Navi Bra, every Christmas, and obviously it couldn't happen last year, so we did it virtually. Which is kind of hard, because John and Austin are actually both living in Nashville now, and have been for almost 2 years. John plays with a bunch of bands in Nashville, and Austin is studying to become a lawyer down there. So it was kind of a challenge, because some of us are there, some of us are here. So we just did it virtually. We played our part with the 5 people, kind of just in my little studio. We sent it to them, and they recorded on top of it, recorded themselves, and then we edited it all together, and that's how you get it. Yeah, I mean, it was our first virtual concert, if you want to call it, but it went really well. It was a lot of fun. Yeah. I
was curious how that works when you don't have the full band there, so you're like missing elements of the song. Is that right?
Yeah, we're literally just pretending they're there. like if there's a guitar solo coming on, it's literally just us, like pretending there's a guitar solo going on, and then, you know, I mean, we have played it so many times together that we're able to do that, you know, just like pretend that it's there. But it could be like if it was a song that we'd never played together, yeah, it'd probably be a lot harder. But those are all our classics. It's pretty simple.
I wanted to give you the opportunity to talk about any upcoming projects or events.
Yeah. So we are working on a second album that is going to be 2022 at some point. I can't say too much about it, but it is going to be programmatic. There's a story behind it, so it's going to be a little more than just an album. But yeah, a lot of good stuff coming. I'd say if you want to check us out, definitely go to YouTube, look up Brahctopus. It's BRAHCTOPUS. You'll find the holiday concert. You'll find some other cool videos. You can also go to Spotify and check out, or Apple Music, and check out our first album, Mothership. That's going on almost 2.5 years old now. But that was our first project, and it has all the same members. Yeah. All right, are we recording?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm just gonna literally make this up.